In some 2 weeks' time, Dutch authorities will publish the second part of their investigation into the 2014 downing of the Malaysian MH17 airliner. RT's Polly Boyko reports on a document recently published by the manufacturer of a missile that is believed to have hit the plane.
A Russian newspaper has published a document leaked from Almaz Antey, the Russian weapons manufacturer, and it sets out the company's findings regarding the MH17 investigations in light of criticism the Russian company has received in the Western media, especially criticism from the open-source Bellingcat investigation in response to the findings put out by Almaz Antey last year. So let me take you through the main bones of contention when it comes to the way different sides see the MH17 investigation and what conclusions they've drawn so far. Bellingcat claims that the Russian findings are inconsistent, that the company changed tack after initially saying that the plane could have been shot down by a Ukrainian military jet to suddenly saying that it was in fact a Buk missile that was responsible for the tragedy. Almaz Antey says that this isn't inconsistency, it's simply a gradual narrowing of the possible scenarios, a process of elimination as the investigation made progress. And then there's the technical nitty-gritty of the three different Buk missiles that the plane could have been shot down by. Almaz Antey says that they looked at the shrapnel damage on the fuselage of MH17, as exhibited by the Dutch Safety Board. And their findings point to the missile in question being the oldest missile that they manufactured, because it's the only one that used large cube-shaped shrapnel pieces. They say that any of the later modifications of the missile contain different shaped shrapnel which wouldn't correspond to the damage on the plane. Their argument boiled down to saying that these missiles hadn't been manufactured since 1999 and the Russian military now uses the updated versions, so it couldn't have been theirs. Bellingcat wasn't happy with that explanation and, using open-source material, found pictures of a victory parade in a town in Siberia, where the old version of the missile is visible, leading them to claim that the Russian company is being dishonest because it's clearly still got a few of the old missiles lying around. Almaz Antey's response to that? They say that local victory parades use replicas, not actual missiles. The Bellingcat investigation has also said that the location where the missile was supposedly launched from was controlled by anti-government fighters in Ukraine at the time, thus fitting the claim that it was them who did this. Whereas Almaz Antey says that that calculation is based on the new updated missile type, that if you alter the parameters and use the old missile type, the trajectory of its route will be completely different, which is why they say this issue needs to be revisited. And the picture is about to get even more complicated because in 2 weeks' time, Dutch prosecutors are going to unveil the second and probably more detailed part of their investigation into how and why MH17 was shot down over eastern Ukraine.
Well, British research group Bellingcat has already responded to the Almaz Antey report, saying that it disagrees with the findings and will publish a more detailed response a bit later. Now, the mainstream media up in arms over North Korea's latest nuclear test. RT's In the Now YouTube channel takes a look at just how justified all the hysteria really is.
So, North Korea reportedly, probably, definitely has a nuclear weapon.
North Korea has conducted another nuclear test.
The most powerful nuclear test to develop a serious nuclear threat.
And as you can see from this footage here, they don't even give a shit about hiding it. They are literally carrying these things around in backpacks. I mean, you at least want to wear some gloves or something, guys. But what possible reason can there be for them to want to have nuclear weapons?
Could obviously destroy North Korea with our arsenals.
Especially with Hillary, I'll totally obliterate Iran Clinton, or Donald, why can't we use nukes Trump, vying for control of the White House. And from Kim's perspective, he's better off doing what he's told, right?
North Korea must abandon these dangerous programs.
I canceled my weapons program in 2003. I didn't even have a bomb. But when it comes to nuclear warfare, we all know who's leading the field there, right?
You're watching RT International live from Moscow. Great to have you with us today. We're going to patch through to some live drone pictures for you now, thanks to the Russian Defense Ministry providing a live online video from the skies above the Syrian city of Aleppo. Now, the US and Russia have agreed to extend the cessation of hostilities in Syria for another 48 hours. If indeed the ceasefire can hold for 7 days, then Russia and the US will form a joint coordination center against terrorist groups in Syria. We understand that a big part of the agreement is to allow humanitarian aid into Aleppo that you're looking at right now from live drone footage. We understand about 20 trucks with humanitarian aid, mostly flour and food, are coming into parts of Aleppo, but warring sides are allegedly blocking some of these trucks in the eastern side of Aleppo. Just very quickly, one more time here, this is live drone footage so that essentially the world can monitor the ongoing ceasefire in Aleppo in Syria. There are also cameras on the ground to give a live feed from the streets. All right, so here on RT International, live from Moscow, Max Kaiser, the Kaiser Report. That'll be next for you.